Next, I want to show you how to obtain an Arizona Privilege Tax License. The law is very clear. All dealers must have an Arizona Privilege Tax License. So before you get your dealer's license, you must obtain an Arizona Privilege Tax License. This is a pre-license requirement, so you definitely want to get this taken care of before you apply. So we're going to get started right here at AZTaxes.gov, and you're going to scroll right down to where it says log in to AZ Taxes. And since we do not have an account, go ahead and click on the new user enrollment, as you see right there. And it kind of gives you a quick overview of the process. So you're going to go ahead and click continue. You're going to enter your contact information with your email and then agree to the terms and conditions. And I want you to be aware, you are going to receive 2 emails from the state. You're going to receive a confirmation, and then you're also going to receive a second email that has a temporary password that you're going to need to use to log in. So check your email, and then we're going to scroll right back here, and there's your temporary password you see on your email there. So make sure and record that temporary password that you were emailed from the state. And then we're going to go right back to AZTaxes.gov, and we're going to click on login. We're going to enter our email as our user ID, and then you're going to enter that temporary password the state just emailed you, and now you'll go ahead and change that password. Okay, so go ahead and enter a new password now to something that you can remember. And, as I stated several times during the course, make sure and record your username and passwords for all these websites that we're having access to initially get the Arizona dealer's license. So your password has been successfully changed. So one final time, you're going to go ahead and log in with your email and your new official password. And then you're going to answer a couple of questions in case you ever need to retrieve your password at a later date. And now you must create a PIN number that is between 6 to 10 digits long. So create your PIN number and record your PIN number. This is just a really secure website that requires multiple methods of verification before you can get your privileged tax license. So once you've done this, we're going to land on the Online Services for Business page at the Arizona Taxes website. And what we're going to do is scroll down to where it says Transaction Privilege Use Tax License with or without registration for withholding unemployment. So go ahead and check that little Apply Now box that you see right there. And you'll go ahead and click Continue. And I want you to be aware, chronologically, there are some things that you need to do before you actually apply for your privileged tax license. As it says right there, you need an employer identification number in order to apply for your Arizona Privilege Tax License. And they also want to know your business structure. So chronologically, as I stated earlier in the course, you want to make sure and get your employer identification number and your Secretary of State filings done, because you'll need to upload those through this website to show the state that you are legally registered with the IRS for your EIN and that you're legally registered with the corporation's office as well. So make sure you've got that taken care of in advance. And also, you need an address where you're going to receive your mail. And you're also going to need what's called your NAICS code. I'll show you how to click on that in a minute. It's 441120. But if you can't remember that, you can just click a little link here in just a moment and look up your own NAICS code. They also want to know if you have purchased this dealership. If you're purchasing a business from another person, then you'll need to have their name, address, and the former EIN as well. So gather up those documents, and that way you'll be able to get your privileged tax license as fast as possible. So you're going to enter your contact information here. You're going to enter your business entity. And for this training scenario, once again, I'm just saying that you're an LLC, but I'm not giving you legal advice here. That's just a training scenario. So I always say, let's just act like we're being in an LLC. So you would select LLC, and you're going to enter your employer identification number. Now, with that being said, if you are a sole proprietor with absolutely no employees, you can use your Social Security number, but I'm assuming that you are either a sole proprietor with employees or you are an LLC or a partnership or something like that. So you're going to go ahead and enter your EIN there, the legal business name. And we're going to scroll down and see where it says NAICS choices. We're going to click Retail Trade and then Used Car Dealers. I'm assuming that you're going to be used, okay? And remember, our NAICS code is 441120. That's for used car dealer. So make sure your NAICS code is correct. Enter your information here, and you can add additional owners if you need to. Remember, anybody that has 20% or more ownership will have to submit their fingerprints as well, okay? So click the date that you think the sales are going to begin, as you see right there. And this is your withholding tax payment. Now, if you are hiring employees, you are going to need to withhold employment tax. But this, if you don't have employees initially, like you haven't even got the license yet and haven't hired employees, you don't have to do this at this time. You can get your withholding information submitted later on. But I do want you to be aware, later on, when you start rocking and rolling with your new business and you decide to start hiring in new employees, you will need to withhold employment tax. And you can log right back into AZTaxes.gov at a later date and submit your withholding information at that time. So right now you can go ahead and leave that blank. I'm assuming you don't have any employees yet because you haven't gotten your dealer's license yet. So keep that in mind. And now, once again, you're going to enter the best mailing address. Now, this is the best mailing address. It doesn't necessarily going to be your dealership location. This is your best mailing address. So enter that information right here. And then you're going to scroll right down here and you're going to click the code 030, that's use tax from inventory, and then the location of your dealership, okay? And automatically to the right there, it's going to populate the local tax rates for you, okay? So make sure, once again, you're going to select your region code, whatever county you're in, scroll down and click on 030, that's your use tax from inventory, and then it should automatically populate the city and county that you are in right there, okay? Once again, you're going to go ahead and enter your business name, and now, I do want you to be aware, in order to get a privilege tax license, you can't use just a credit card. You're going to have to use some type of checking account, ACH. So you're going to go ahead and enter your routing number and your bank account number right here, because the state law does not allow you to get a privilege tax license with a credit card. So you have to have those funds deducted from your checking or savings account, as you see right here. And then you're going to see an overview, and you just click finished right there. And then it's basically going to show you like the tax rates that are going to be charged in your areas. So that's how you get an Arizona privilege tax license. This is a pre-license requirement. I want you to be very aware of that. And chronologically, remember, you have to have your employer identification number, and you want to go ahead and register with the corporation's office first, so that way you can enter all of your legal business entity here. So chronologically, get the EIN, register with the Corporations Commission, and then you apply for your Arizona privilege tax license, and that is for the privilege of doing business in the state of Arizona.